John grabbed her hand and made it way down to his trousers. Julie looked at his very erect member and thought, what is this? What am I doing here? Oh, I love John, but am I ready to take such a leap into the gigantic... good evening, newsies. I'm Linzi Chin, and here's this week's news. In Canberra last week, it was a case of count the boo-boo faces as poor Peter Costello... It's actually Peter Costello missed out on the top job, and Simon Cream, who had to contend with the will he or won't he Kim Beazley. Who could have missed the sad little faces of both these courageous men as they heroically took the news on the chin? Simon still believing that Kim would be honourable and not go ahead with his leadership challenge, and Peter believing that very big but very short daddy had finally acknowledged his good work and allowed him to inherit the land he has fought so hard to financially balance. Could somebody kill the dog? But honestly, let's go back in time when Bob and Cole were the cat's pyjamas. Dear Peter Costello, think back in time and remember how King Bob promised the land to Prince Paul and how it all went so terribly wrong when King Bob did nothing more than have the golden fleece waved under Prince Paul's nose, only to have it whisked away again with the king laughing all the way to the next election. My advice to Peter is this. Do we, the rest of the nation and your good self, really want to see the colour of the PM's face when it's disencumbered from the rectum of George Bush? I know I don't. And poor Simon, wandering around the hallowed halls of Parliament, constantly watching out for the Beazley monster and his rumble-tumble tummy, ready to squash and destroy all in its path. Duck and cover, boys and girls, the party has just begun. And while we're on the subject of politics, if anybody out there is hiding the weapons of mass destruction in their fashionable apartment or triple garage in a suburb where you'd never find a gay person, could you please give them to Tony, what colour will I wear my hair today, Blair? It appears he's been looking high and low for these mysterious war-inducing items and can't find them anywhere. Wouldn't you just hate to be related to this man? Not only the constant embarrassment of different hair for different war cries, but this constant babble about things that were there yesterday because someone from intelligence told me so, and I use the word intelligence very loosely. To have nothing better to do with one's day than to play hide and seek. So, if you are the mad decorator who has a wonderful display of Middle Eastern vases, or have discovered a substance that not only removes grease and grime from your washing, but has also managed to eat away that unwanted organic mass that you've been sleeping next to for the last 5 years, simply known as your partner, please call Bent TV and we'll be around with Uncle Tony to collect. And in Gayland this week, the answer to 2,000 years of persecution has nothing to do with one's sexuality, but more to do with what hand you use. So research has shown us. Yes, folks, if you are left-handed, you are probably gay. If you're right-handed, you are probably not. So for me, I'm right-handed, and most I've been with have also been right-handed. So that means, judging by this research, that I'm not gay, neither are the people I've slept with. But my 90-year-old aunt, who has 4 children, a house in Mount Waverley, and visits the local Baptist church, and who is also left-handed, is gay. And so it appears is Jesus. Yes, good Christian folk out there, according to the astrological chart of our Saviour and clues in the scriptures. For example, John, who always referred to himself as Jesus' beloved disciple, and that really quirky bit in the scriptures about how Jesus would rather hang out at Club 80 rather than attend Wet on Wellington, the family sauna. One bright person believes and is receiving $17,000 a year to prove that Jesus was gay. And also don't forget that extra $4 a week from Mr. Costello. But really, we already know that if Jesus was left-handed, he was gay. And we, the taxpayer, would not be forking out $17,000 a year to find out. And who really cares if the big J was gay or not? Liberace was gay and no one seemed to care. In sport this week, the top guns in the French Open fell like fallout from a leadership challenge. Agassi, Hewitt and one of those big, gorgeous Williams sisters all went down to unknowns. Not unlike our own sporting heroes of the rounders circuit, Valmay Valiant and her team. Let's cross now for an update on training procedures and our Valmay and her Vice President, Vicky Weiss. Now, we must also apologise, but Punt Kick Perry is actually out on assignment this week, and I'll be holding the interview. So it's over to you, Lindsay.
Good evening, Q Weekly sports fans. I'm Linzi Kurileff on a Saturday night, and it's my pleasure to actually talk to Valiant Val May and Vicky Weiss, direct from the over 16s Randa team. Victoria, how are you? Now, I see you're doing a bit of exercise.
To the limit.
To the limit.
Last week, sex abuse. This week, grammar school sports. More grammar school sports.
Right, now I'm a little bit concerned here because you seem to be doing all sorts of things. We all know that you've given birth, and I'm a bit worried about what's going to pop out there.
One of the reasons I started the program for the little prolapse, but that's all right, I've got the Tina pads on, so she's right. And we've got the dogs here to mop up anything else.
And can I just say, Victoria, how did you actually get into rounders? I believe it's a fascinating story.
Oh, well, you know, I was going through menopause and the ring road was just come in and I was going to, where was I going? Sunbury. And I got lost and I got to this roundabout and I thought, oh, there's Sunbury. So I went into the roundabout, into the oncoming traffic, and then went, oh God, and went into the centre of the roundabout, really unbalanced, and thought, oh, there's lights behind me, put my foot on the wrong equipment and backed into a police car. So they said, look, madam, you need straightening out. You're a bit bent and you need sorting out. So I looked in the phone book, I was looking for a thing called Straight for Life or Balance for Life.
I've been looking for them myself, yeah.
I couldn't think of the word because of the menopause, and so I said, I need rounding out, and then they put me onto the Victorian Rounders thing, and so here I am.
Fascinating, isn't it? And you obviously enjoy your time with the Rounders team.
Oh, love it. Just love it. You know, I just stretch to the limit.
And is that because it's one of the few times you manage to get a leg up, or?
Oh, no, because what happens is you run that way. You run that way. And that's the direction I take at roundabouts.
I see.
I'll stick with the program and I'll go the way that I know, that way, right-handed.
I see. Now, Valiant Val May is your president. A quick word to Val, a catch-up, because as you will recall, that we actually had a phone call from the GG last week offering some of his $100,000 superannuation payout to the Rounders team. Val, has a cheque arrived yet?
Well, as you know, we're under still some considerable financial strain now that the budget is blown out. And I saw a segment on the news last night with Evan Walker, I believe it was. Anyway, they are establishing a lovely commission, and the commission will establish transparency in the budget.
Fantastic. Well, that's about all we have time for this week, Valiant Val May and gorgeous Vicky Weiss. But we'll be back next week with another update from the fabulous over 16s Rounders team. I'm Linzi Kurileff, if you want to, and it's back to Linzi at the news desk. It's over to you, Linzi.
Jay, have a look. Did you think he's cute, Jay? I mean, but when you pull his... Oh, welcome back, viewers. Hurry up, please, and come back to us, Punt Kick Perry, from your assignment of counting balls around a football field. We need you desperately. Now, in finance news this week, the Dow Jones, my dears, is not the place to go shopping that it used to be, much to the chagrin of the footsie, who just wants the Nick Eye to buy her those lovely pumps she saw on sale there last week. Whereas the All Ordinaries would be happy with a pair of hole-proof jiffies just to slip into and feel safe. Until next week, folks, remember, being single means the only pathologies you ever have to deal with are your own. Ciao, Bellas.
I told you took up all my airtime.
I was just excited. I was just excited.
Jay, help me.
Jay!
Jay!